Hi grade 7, welcome to your last lesson of guitar with me. Today we're going to be looking at our last theme, and this theme is pretty recent. Tell me if you can figure out where you know it from. Alright grade 7, so those are our favorite superheroes from the Marvel Universe, and that is the theme from Avengers. Not necessarily the specific ones for each movie, but the general one, the one from the beginning. So there's a slight variation for Infinity Wars, there's a slight variation for Endgame, but this is the theme that is in pretty much all of them. It's just there's a slight adjustment when it comes to each movie, but it's pretty much the same thing. Alright, so let's zoom into the guitar and let's learn how to play the theme from the Avengers. So we want to split this theme up into three. We have three parts for it. Yeah, I can sometimes call them part A, B, and C, but I'll try and call them part 1, 2, and 3. So part 1 is our intro. So the first guitar is going ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-dum, and it does that twice. Then we come in. Alright, so we're going to do this, slide into the 10th fret of your A string. I'm going to use my index finger. Sometimes you'll see me using my middle, but whichever one is fine. Slide in from the 8th to the 10th, or just slide in from wherever. It's okay. So, then after that, you're going to hit the 12 of the D. So, then 10 of the D. Then you go back to the 8 and hit it twice. Okay, so 12, 10, 8, 8. Alright. This is part 1. Then back to the 10. Then you hit 12 twice. So 12, 10, 8, 8, 10, 12, 12. Then back to that G note. This G note is the 10th fret of the A string. So all together, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Alright, so that second part, we're going to go. So we slide to the 12, hit it once, 10 once, 8 twice. Then 7, back to the G note. So 12, 10, 8, 8, 7, 10. Alright, so let's put that together so far. 2, 3, 4. Second part. Then we just repeat, exact same thing. 8, 8, 12, 12. Nice. So after we do it the second time, we go. We don't come back to the 10 over here with this G note. We're going to go. Slide. This is another G on the 12th fret of the G string, okay? all the notes on the 12th fret of a guitar are the same as the 0th fret. So they all repeat at the 12th fret. That's why we have a double dot, to show the significance and why it's more special than all the other dots, because that's where it repeats, okay? So we're going to go, slide from the 10 to the 12. And we're going to repeat that same melody, but just in slight different positions, because now we're higher. Whenever we're playing notes between the G and B string, it changes from the way it would be from the A and D or the D and G. All right, just because the G and B are tuned slightly differently. So we go 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to play the 13 on the B, slide to the 15. All right, from 13 to 15, back to the 13, then the 11 twice, then back to the 13. So, then back to the 15 twice, then back to that G note on the 12th fret. So, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. So the second time you go, slide from 13 to 15, back to 13, 11 twice, 10 once, then 12. It's the same thing as, but just with different fingering. Then you just repeat. And that's part 1. So let's put the whole of part 1 together. 3, go. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Slide. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. So that's pretty straightforward. So if you're having trouble just getting those notes, pause and practice it by yourself. Pretty straightforward, not hard at all. So once we finish it there, we're gonna go for part 2. We're gonna slide in immediately. So, all right. So we're gonna slide in from the 8th to the 10th. That's a G note, and we're gonna play sliding from the 8th to the 10th. Then we're gonna play our G note on the G string, which is right there. So there's a string skip from the A string to the G string. And both of those notes are actually G. It's called an octave because they're the same note. So we're gonna go slide, hit. All right, so after that slide, hit, 2, 3. So slide, hit, 2, 3, 4, 1. We hit that underneath after 4 counts. So slide, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I hit the 10th fret of the D, which is right underneath that G note. Then the 12th fret of the D. So da, da, 10, 12. Then my pinky will play the 13th on the A. Then back to the 10th of the A. 2, 3, 4. All right, 10, 12, 13, 10. Then hit that G note in the G string again. Then we go up to the 13. Then back to the 12. Alright, so far for that part 2. 2, 3, 4. Up. Alright. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, down. Then after we do that once, we're going to go right underneath. We're going to play, slide in from the 8th to the 10th of the D. Then play the pinky on the 13th fret of the B. Alright, so 10, 13, that's also an octave. Those notes are called C. Same notes. Alright. So what we're going to do is, we're going to play that note underneath that C, right over here, on the high E string 13th fret. Then we come back to that C note. So, 2, 3, 4. All right, so da, do. So go. 2, 3, 4, 1. Then after we play that 13th on the B, we play the 10th on the high E. Then we finish it off with a 12, 11, 12 on the high E. All right. 2, 3, 4, 13, 13, 10, 2, 3, 4, 12, 11, 12, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2. Then we get into our main theme, the one that everyone knows. So let's put that part 2 together. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. Slide underneath, go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 12, 11, 12. Alright, let's put part 1 and part 2 before we get to part 3. So 1, 2, 3, part 1. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Slide. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Part 2, slide, hit. 2, 3, 4. Hit that note. Underneath, go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 12, 11, 12, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2. Alright, so once you hit that note, da, this is part 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And we're going to hold it for some time, okay? So this third part you can split into two. There's for the first part where it's kind of like a few notes and we hold it for a long time. Then the second part, which is more notes, and we just keep on going. So, da, 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 2, 3, 4. Hit the 14th on the D string twice. Alright, 14th on the D. Then string skip to the 12th of the B. And then come to the 14th of the G. And then we're going to hold that. So, da, da, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, da, da. Then we go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Then we finish that first half of part 3 by going 12, 14, 14, 16 on the same string, or 14, 11, 11 on the next string. Alright, so 12, 14, 14, 11, 12, 14, 14, 11. Then we start the second part of part 3. So let's try part 3 with all its counts. Sometimes I will end up saying the actual melody, so da 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 da, alright, instead of counting it. You can do whichever one you prefer. You can count it or you can sing the melody. So let's go for it. Part 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. Let's go for that ending of part 1. Then we start part 2. Part 2 is pretty much the same thing, except now we bring in all the notes. So for part 2, hit that note first time. So bum, 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 ba, bum. No difference. Bum, ba, bum. Alright, so for that second half of part 3, we're going to go for pretty much the same melody, except we're going to hit this D string first. So after we go, hit it. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. No difference there. 2, 3, 4, 1. Alright, so that's second time. Alright, instead of going do, do, da, do, again we go do, do, 12, 14 on the same string. Da, da, do. then 14 on the G string, then 16th on the G. So 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, repeat. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. All right. So second time. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, repeat. 2, 3, 4. Then we finish. Alright, so for that second time, you're going for part 2. Once you reach, you go for the 12, 11, immediately finish. Then slide onto the 12th of the D. So for that ending, it's just the 12, 14, 14, 11, or 12, 14, 14, 16, then you slide and finish it on the 14th fret of the D. So let's put that whole part 3 together from the ending of part 2. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, then go up high for that finisher. Part 2 of part 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. Second repetition. 2, 3, 4. Here comes the finish. Put some vibrato on it. And that is the whole theme. So let's now put part 1, part 2, and part 3 together at a nice moderate speed. 1, 2, 3, part 1. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Slide for the high one. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Part 2. 2, 3. Underneath, go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. Do do da do. Then ending. Part 2 of part 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. Repeat, part 3. And here we go. Finish. Alright, grade 7, so that is our entire theme from the Avengers. That is a really fun theme and very intense, so I really want you to try and play it with a backing track. I've also included the original theme in the description, so make sure you check that out. And yeah, just try and put it together and have a lot of fun with it. And it's not a hard one, it's just getting the counting right. So make sure you're counting your mind, or you're singing the melody in your mind so that you can know where the next note comes in. But Nice, fun, easy one. Hopefully it's easy for you because you've been practicing hard with all the other stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Remember, maintain good technique on your right hand. Use alternate picking, down and up strokes. That's what's going to make you better. And make sure you can sing your part. If you can sing the solo, then you can be able to play it 100 times better than if you cannot sing it. Because if you can sing it, you've internalized it. All right? So have fun practicing and go watch the next video so you can see the instructions for your midterm assessment. Bye, grade 7s.